Here's your host, Alex Garrett.
Well, while I was not feeling too hot, with the gallstones and getting that under control and recovering, something big happened that that does impact today and should be celebrated today. And that is the fact that Governor Kathy Hochul maneuvered it so that congestion pricing would not start today, June 30th. That was supposed to start today. Traffic under 60th Street, cars under 60th Street would have been charged about $15 to enter the busiest part of Manhattan on top of any other bridge or tunnel tolls. Hochul said she was delaying the congestion pricing because of concerns New York City's economy might hurt if people stayed away from the city to avoid them. No crap. So you know what my thought is today? My thought is today, on the day we celebrate the fact there is no congestion pricing starting, there is a delay, why don't we do this? When we have anti-Zionists, anti-Semites, and quote-unquote Free Palestine protesters rampaging through our city, fine them $15 to $20, hell, even more, for causing this scene outside of a Biden fundraiser the other night, blocking streets, blocking bridges. Find them, not the hard-working men and women of New York City who just want to enter the city and maybe have a good time with their family on a weekend, or maybe really have to take a car into work. See, the city has become so used to, and the state has become so used to punishing the do-gooders that the bad ones maybe get arrested, but then let out the next day here in the city and in the state, thanks to bail reform. So why don't we switch that ideology of charging the good people $15 and just charging those who cause chaos, who block the streets, who block the, bridges and tunnels. Charge them $15 plus more dollars or more for the resources of the NYPD, by the way. Just charge them and fine them. Not the good doers who are just trying to enter the city under 60th Street. We can thank Governor Hochul today, 100%. But I want to take this a step further. Take the money you are going to fine, or charge, I guess you'd say, and make it a fine for protesting on city streets, blocking traffic, causing the NYPD to use its resources. That's where those $15 charges should go. Not out of the pocket of someone who innocently wants to come into NYC to have a good time or to have to go to work. Not those people. Start charging the ones who simply have nothing better to do than block off traffic for a cause that I find is turning into more anti-Semitism than anything else. Did one person get charged and fully prosecuted in Colombia for their actions, storming the campus and taking over the campus? No! D.A. Bragg didn't do that. So maybe Governor Hochul and the state should step in here and say, hey, look, if you're going to block our city streets in our beloved New York City, if you're going to take over our campuses, you know what, we're going to charge you for that. It's not just going to be an arrest and a desk ticket and whatnot. We're going to charge you for that. Now, here's why the MTA is so pissed about this congestion pricing not going through. Apparently, according to the Associated Press, the transit budget is short $16 billion. That's why they want it so badly. Well, maybe if you, I hate to say it, but cut the overtimes and really make sure no overtime fraud is going on in your transit bureau. And maybe if you didn't keep, you have to cut the fat at the MTA is what I'm trying to say. Not charge, right? Not charge innocent people more fare hikes, more tolls. more congestion pricing. That's not the answer, Jan Lieber, who says, we don't engage in theatrics. This also cut off, by the way, and the board did vote 10-1, I believe, to stop the congestion pricing from going in. So we know how the MTA board feels, right? We know how the MTA board feels, by the way. And they also said that they had no power to reverse Hochul's decision. State law establishing congestion pricing requires a sign-off from our transportation department. The MTA is now going to have to slash its capital budget by at least 30%, and which estimates lost revenue, sunk costs, and potentially lost funding, federal funding. They also said it's going to stop, this was interesting, stop the 2nd Avenue line, which of course has been a huge deal, right, where they can continue the 2nd Avenue line past 96th Street. Now they can't keep that subway line expanding, as well as other maintenance improvement projects, because $16.5 billion shortfall here. But I do believe the MTA did this to themselves also. The MTA and the pandemic, but the MTA did this to themselves. Time and time again. And they need to face that music too. But as far as the state goes in delaying this, take it a step further. Maneuver it so that those who want to block our bridges, tunnels, and streets of New York get charged that $15 or more. Not just a desk ticket where they don't have to show up, but get charged, literally charged an amount. Fined, if you will. Do they ever get fined? I don't think they get fined for blocking our bridges and tunnels when they have these massive protests, that say free Palestine, but also say for anti-Semitic things as well. By the way. I'm fired up I'm fired up and thankful that there is no congestion pricing. But you know what we could do next? And John Katzmatias just retweeted me. Thank you, John, for saying this. You know what we could do next? Take it a step further and punish those who literally block traffic. Not with their cars, but with their vitriol and their vile speech. Specifically nowadays toward the Jewish people. Those are the people who should be charged congestion pricing on the Alex Garrett Podcast Network.